Hello, class. We're going to be digging into the book, Unmasking the Male Soul, Power and Gender Trap for Women in Leadership. It is written by a Fuller professor of the name Wilmer G. Villacorta. As you may or may not know, Dr. Wilmer Villacorta is a Latino professor who immigrated to the United States from Peru. While he acknowledges the presence of machismo in his native culture, he recognized as a young adult that his own family was not marked by that dynamic of male power. He comes from a line of strong female leaders and has leaned deeply into the ways that males and females share power, how the sharing of their power is both right and beautiful. As a missionary and mission trainer in Peru, he also realized that the issue of male power and machismo in ministry was a taboo subject, a prohibition that he noted spanned cultures when he began to minister in the United States. As you could guess, Dr. V's book would be aimed at men. But he's actually writing to the leaders of both genders, male and female. His book issues a call to women to courageously assume the mantle of leadership that God has bestowed upon them equally with men, and a counter call to men to lay down their egos and quest for domination and lean into the beauty of shared leadership with the co-laborers that God provided in women. His hope in writing this book was that men would become change agents and advocates for their women colleagues in ministry, leading to a more equitable ministry approach that more closely resembles the relationship between the Trinity, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. This book journeys through the history, culture, and theology to unpack the age-old struggles of power between men and women. Throughout the book, as the title suggests, Dr. V lays the primary responsibility for the subjugation of women at the feet of men. He examines the role that bad theology and male-gendered view of God have played in the systems that abuse and quash women, particularly in Christian leadership circles. The book examines the damage that has been done to the male soul through sin, societal narratives, and wrong thinking, and proposes that ultimately the solution to female empowerment and equality is the healing of the male soul. He proposes the embrace of three key paradoxical truths which free men from the captivity of the insidious lie that they believe. Understanding that women holding power will not make men powerless. The biblical assertion of strength found in weakness, and the fallacy of the patriarchy as a biblical framework for family, society, or church. He proposes that ultimately one of the primary reasons Jesus came as a man was to overturn these cultural captivities and provide a model for a transformed man, one who elevates and affirms women as equals in ministry. Dr. V outlines a vision for a blessed alliance of men and women working in ministry together, not only for the sake of the kingdom's advancement, but for the sake of their own soul's flourishing. This book would be helpful to Christian leadership teams who are working to have a more balanced gender composition and elevate the voices of women on their team. Perhaps it could be read as a team and the concepts discussed together in order to find new ways forward and articulate some of the hurdles that need to be overcome. Another potential application for this book's use would be for a couple to read it together in honesty, vulnerability, and particularly if they have a real desire to achieve equality in their marriage, but they're working to overcome traditional roles attitudes passed down to them from their families of origin or church cultures. I invite you to come read this book and go on a journey of learning and growing.